There's so many things I want to talk about. And then there's me not really knowing what to talk about. But I guess I'll just talk. So initially, I say at this point, a month ago, I was going to be posting a video that I recorded. And I was going to break it up into reels, and I never did that with that video. And now it's to the point where that video is kind of obsolete. I mean, I'll post it at some point, but I'll still post it because at that point it's just content, but the video's old. So if I post reels about it, I'll have to put like a disclaimer in each reel, like, hey, this video is old. It doesn't pertain to what I'm doing now. So yeah. But anyway, boom. So fast forward a whole month. I left the job. I was working at BJ's restaurant and brew house in Greenwood, Indiana. Not a great job. Not really a fan of restaurant jobs, especially that one, because I would eat the food there sometimes. Well, not even a whole lot. I really wouldn't. And I'm not exaggerating. I really wouldn't eat it a whole lot, but I ate it enough times. Those few times I ate enough to where I kept getting sick from the food. Total of 4 times within just about almost 3 months. I say almost because literally the day that I left that job was literally one day before it would have been 3 months. I kept getting sick for what felt like forever. I was working there, but like I said, it was only almost 3 months. So what, 12 weeks, almost 12 weeks essentially. Well, 11 weeks and 6 days minus 1 day. So there's that. But yeah, no, I was working there, having a hard time with prep, having a hard time getting prep done. Specifically, they started to put me on salad and fry station, and if anyone who's ever worked a restaurant job, you know how that could be difficult when you have to do prep for 2 stations, especially for fry station and salad station, because depending on your fry station, depending on your salad station, if it's like big enough, if the station itself is big enough where you have like a bunch of stuff, a bunch of moving parts, then you're gonna have a lot more prep than usual. And fry station was bigger than what I'm used to, so which we call the appetizer station. But essentially, they had me on 2 stations. I had to do prep for both stations. The prep for fry station is quicker than the prep for salad station, and I would finish the fry station first. But come time for me to do the prep for salad station, come time for that, it's already like 11 o'clock, and we're already going. So I could barely even get into it. If I'm lucky, I got one thing done, and from there, the manager there, who was around my age, literally like a year younger than me, the manager got upset about that. He also got upset about how I wasn't able to keep up with orders as well, which has always been an issue I had at every restaurant job I ever worked at. I always fell behind on orders, and it was more difficult to keep up with orders when I was on fry station and salad station. Flat top, I felt I was able to get more of a handle because, for one, the prep on all the stations is literally the same, but the prep on flat top is the easiest out of them all, and it's mostly just chopping up stuff. Salad, I say it's the hard salad, and I would say, and maybe pizza. I don't know what prep stuff they have, but I would say salad and broil and saute station. Salad, broil, and saute station, I say, would be the hardest as far as prep. But for broil and saute, they would always make sure they have someone who knows what they're doing, so they wouldn't really have to worry too much. and that's another thing. The manager being as fucking, and I'm not even gonna hold back my words. I'm just gonna get out my thoughts as I need to. Being as fucking stupid as he was with his whole fucking chest, decided to compare me to the guy who's been working there for 8 fucking years. Mind you, even though I've only worked at 3 restaurants. One of which I was literally just working. I worked only pantry and pizza, and then the one before that, I worked just pantry and basically fry, and I did flat top, but I didn't do burgers. And if I did do burgers, I would need assistance because that was my first time doing burgers at that first restaurant. So boom, back to here at BJ's. Make sure this thing's still going. Matter of fact, let me see something. Okay, I just had to make sure I had battery power. Oh, what's a good thing? I got space to get that. Okay, but anyway, no. But wanted to compare me to someone who's been there working 8 years. And what I said, like, and I remember saying, I didn't even say anything about the 8 years thing during, like while in that conversation. I ended up bringing it up later on, though, when I gave my resignation letter. But, which at that point, he probably didn't give a shit. But, which honestly, who knows? But I do remember saying, like, I just got here, or I just started, which is the same thing happened at the next job. We'll get to that in a second. But he said, no, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I expect the same type of work ethic or whatever. Eventually, it got to a point where, like, back to Salad Station, I couldn't keep up with none. Had a hard time getting the salads out. I was starting to get the hang of it, but it was still too much. And then, like I said, I kept getting sick from the food, so it literally got to the point, literally the day before I called out sick, and then came back later on that day and gave them the resignation letter because I literally when I was trying to get a whole nother job, and I literally got told, hey, you got the job. So literally that next day when I called out sick was when I went to orientation, and then I came back, gave them resignation letter, went on about my business. But the day before that, I literally didn't eat anything because, like, you have to understand, I have narcolepsy. So with having narcolepsy and working at a restaurant where you're standing up 8 to 12 hours, I want to say 16 because sometimes I have worked doubles. If you're working 8 to 12 or 16 hours, a double or just a single shift, if you're working those 2 hours, or if you're working those many hours, and you have narcolepsy, and you're moving around a lot, and you don't eat, and due to all the stuff you're doing, you're probably gonna forget that you need to drink water. Okay. Okay, she's back. Hold on. Kind of laughing to myself right now. I just thought of some dude who got called out on Instagram. Don't know his name, but he was saying crazy stuff in the comment section. And dudes found his YouTube channel. Dude was like posting consistently for 10 years and has no following of any kind, really. It's just, and it's not like random videos. Dude was like posting like consistently, like he was consistently posting like whatever content he was doing, and dude was not getting no traction. And the guy who was showing that was like, dude, it's time to pack it up. I was thinking about that and thinking about, like, oh, how am I gonna get this video on YouTube? Because, you know, anyone who posts on YouTube, they're gonna have haters, they're gonna have people watching who don't comment but just hating, you know, stuff like that. And it's like, ugh, like, it sucks because it's like, I know when I'm posting. See, that's another thing. They're gonna be like, oh my god, can he get his words out? But no, like, I know when I post this, people are gonna see it and they're gonna be like, some people are gonna hate it. Some people are gonna hate it. Some people are gonna love it. Some people are just gonna watch it and then scroll, go about their day, whatever have you. But oh man, I just saw a video. Well, whatever the statement was that I was just trying to figure out, that sentence doesn't make any sense. Whatever. Wow, man. See, whatever it was I was trying to say, it'll probably come up later on. Jeez, all that just to watch, man. All right. Anyway, I already said what I had to say on that, but I didn't actually. Like I said, whatever I'm trying to think of, it'll pop up in my head later on. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Shitty job, BJ's. The day beforehand, I didn't. No, the day before I called out sick, which I wasn't. That was me basically quitting. That was the day I quit. But essentially, had narcolepsy. Wasn't eating the entire day because I didn't want to get sick. Like literally the day before, or like a few days before. It was either the day before my last day or 2 days before my last day. But essentially, I had a fry and a calamari. Both were fresh out the fryer. And the oil was completely fine. I ate both of them. I didn't really like the way the calamari tastes. Few seconds later, my throat's feeling a little weird. So now I'm literally throwing my hands up in the air like, are you serious? Because I'm like, I literally made sure that it wasn't touching nothing else. Still got sick. Mind you, it's not just me. You have people there working there who are sick, who are making people's food while they're sick, while they hacking up spit, turn it to the trash can, spitting. Okay, I could count literally I can count on my hand at least 2 people that I saw do that specifically, but pretty much everyone who I worked with on the line has been sick. Most everyone, not everyone, but most everyone I worked with on the line has been sick and worked while they were sick. One of them, I'm not even gonna say his name. I already said the location, so but I'm not gonna say his name. Cool guy. If you ever see this, how you doing? Hope everything's better. Hope you're actually achieving your dreams instead of just living the dream like everyone at all these fucking culinary restaurants keep fucking saying, knowing that they're not living the fucking dream. Which I fucking hate when niggas say that shit. I really do, especially when they're not living the dream. But anyway, dude be working there. He's a cool guy. Great to conversate with. Like he's like a few years older than me, and legitimately he thinks of me as a younger brother. Which that title it didn't really bother me that much coming from him. I don't really like it too much, but it didn't bother me to where I was like, hey yo, don't call me that. Like I was like, okay, whatever. And he didn't say it all that much either. But anyway, dude's cool and all, but he kept getting sick. Sometimes he was recovering from a hangover. Not saying that he was coming there drunk. He wasn't coming there drunk. He was recovering from a hangover. Of course, people watching, y'all know what a hangover is or whatever the fuck. But anyway, dude's recovering from that, stuff like that. He would be, and there'd be times where like he would be like that, like either sick or hungover or whatever, and it would be like, yo, like, call off, go home, like you're literally sick, or like you really can't operate. He would just power through it, which okay, cool, good on him, he pulled through. But it's like, bro, we're serving food to people. Like, I'm cool with you. Like, if I was a manager, I would not be a dick. I've worked with a whole lot of people throughout, not even worked. I've just been around a lot of people who are supposed to be leaders or whatever. Okay, I was trying to match my shadows. Okay, no, I was trying to have the shadow of this hand and this hand overlap. ADHD type shit. But no, like I've been led by, I've had so many leaders and teachers and counselors and so on and so forth that are supposed to be in charge, that are supposed to know what they're doing. I can tell you right now, if I was put in charge, I would know, I would say majority of not how to act towards people. Like if someone does something wrong, okay, yeah, let them know they did this thing wrong, but don't be like, oh, you stupid ass motherfucker. Like, don't yell your head off and make them not want to go there. Okay, you want to make it a great environment. So I at least know that from all my years of basically getting yelled at, bitched at, and mistreated. But anyway, if I was a manager, I would have told them like, yo, go home, because like that place there, I was gonna get to it earlier, but that place there, they got foodborne illness there. I done let like 4 people know. One of them was the main ones to have that foodborne illness, and the main guy that I was just talking about, who did saute, he told me like, yo, this dude been sick ever since I've been working here, and that guy, the saute guy, he's been working there for 8 years. He's the guy who's been working there for 8 years. So the other guy who was sick, who eventually ended up leaving, he's been working there for quite a while as well. But he had foodborne illness, and there were servers getting sick too. I know one of them, I'm not gonna say her name, but she had a kid and everything. I don't know if she gave her kid something from the restaurant, but he got sick, or I think however it went down, they got it from the restaurant for sure. I do remember that. And then because she got sick, so she had to stay out of work for a little bit, like 5 days or something like that. But yeah, that place now, like literally, I even told the saute dude, because me and him are cool. I'm like, bro, I've never worked because I worked at 2 restaurants and other food places. I told him like, I've never worked at any other restaurant or any food place or anywhere where this is where people getting sick and then having to work while being sick, and then the food making people sick and everything. I've never worked in a place where that's just a common occurrence. To the point where the manager for for the servers was joking about that with the saute guy. They're like, oh, because normally, oh, I didn't hear you hacking or anything. You know, like hacking, like you know, that noise that people would make when they're trying to get phlegm or whatever out of their throat. You know, something like that. But she said, oh, I didn't hear you make like a coughing noise or whatever, because normally he makes that noise like almost every time he's there. And it's like, and I'm like, this is such a normal occurrence, to the point where they're expecting the main guy who's cooking on the line to be making coughing noises. Yeah, bro, time to back it up. Literally, like, I'm not even kidding. So yeah, that was one of the main things, and then that was one of the main thing. I'm not saying that right as well, but that was one of the main reasons. There we go. That was one of the main reasons as to why I was like, I need to leave this job. And then furthermore, BJ's, I was only staying there temporarily anyway. I was initially gonna do some online thing that I wound up not doing. Like, I have an account for them and everything, but I really don't think I'm gonna go back to them. But now, yeah, it was that, and then this new job I got that they fired me from. The new job I'm talking about. So we're gonna get into that right now. So boom, I'm like, okay, I need to get into sales, you know, because I've been like watching a bunch of sales videos and everything, and I've really been into this, really been like, you know, like not even necessarily, well, you could say kind of dabbling into it, because anyway, basically I've been looking at content related to sales, and some content about sales, and then later on more content about sales since 2022. So I've been somewhat interested in it for a few years now. And technically speaking, I've been in a course for sales I've been in a course, and I paused because this is the part where it's actually going to be, well, no, it's not going to be embarrassing. I'm the only one who's like putting that out there. So no, it's not embarrassing. And I'll explain why. I've been in a course for sales since 2022. And I've made no advancements. Why is it? We'll get into why that is the case. But no, getting into sales, looking at sales and everything. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I need to actually get into sales. Let me see if I could get a sales job, right? So I'm looking while boss is getting on my ass, and I'm like, hey, yo, calm your ass down type shit or whatever. I was not like that every single day. It was literally like one time I was kind of like that, but not really. But he wasn't even like yelling at me or nothing. No, he literally wasn't. See, I'm already putting myself in a hole here. You know, like, anyway, you see how I'm talking on camera, it fucking sucks. But I tell you right now, when I'm just by myself, because I literally talk out loud to myself. When I'm by myself, I rarely, not even rarely, I don't stutter as much. I don't stutter this much when I'm just talking to myself. Yeah. But now that's out there, and half of y'all listening are like, yeah, I already knew that. And I'm like, okay, cool, keep it to yourself. Well, I can't really. It's already out there. It's in this video. No, but and then technically speaking, I'm really just talking to myself. I'm literally just talking to a phone. I'm not even gonna say the other part I was gonna say. Some people could assume what I was about to say, but anyway. Nah, man. I'm gonna just get back to what I was saying. I was saying something about the manager getting on my case. He wasn't yelling. He was just basically getting on my case about it. And every time he would like kind of look my way, I'll be like, oh shoot. But anyway, yeah, got myself a sales job, and I had an on, and and I had an interview. Geez, this video is gonna make me look fucking weird as fuck, but it don't matter. It literally don't matter. It's either I get this video out or I don't. Wow, this is gonna be a lot to go over because I know what I want to say right now, but for some reason I'm just pausing. I mean, it's not for some reason. It's clearly for a reason. I got the sales job. They almost passed up on me because they were trying to contact me, but I think I missed the call or I just missed the email or whatever. So, boom, I got the sales job. They said, we need you in tomorrow for orientation. I was like, all right, cool. Boom, I go to orientation. The day I go to orientation, I tell them, hey, I'm sick, da-da-da-da. Go to orientation. It was literally like an hour. That's it. Go back, give in my resignation letter. Crazy too. No, I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna say that. I am gonna say because now y'all gonna want to know. Actually, no, because that doesn't even matter. It does matter. It doesn't matter. Damn. I don't want to say it. Well, I'll mention it in a way where it makes sense later on, essentially. But I go in, give my resignation letter to the guy who said that I need to be just as good as the guy who's been here for 8 years and has a whole system down. But I don't have a whole system down because I basically just been there for 3 months. And yeah, anyway, and no. But yeah, so basically it was like what? It was like Thursday, I think it was Thursday. Thursday, their orientation. Friday, it was basically a orientation part 2. And then it was like, yeah, and then it was the next week, Monday and Tuesday, they were trying to get me cleared or whatever. They were just trying to get more, do like background check. They were waiting on the background check and like other information, all that. Yeah, that wouldn't have, yeah, no. Background check and all that. And then, boom, got the background check. So I'm going infield. It's one of those jobs. It's one of those sales jobs. It was a Credence Innovations, and they got a office up north of here. I live in Greenwood, Indiana. They got an office basically all the way up in Castleton, which is almost an hour away, depending on traffic, but almost an hour away. And also I ended up getting sick again because I didn't wear enough layers. So literally for like pretty much the entire time I was working there, I was literally wearing this. I was wearing this and like an undershirt and like 2 layers under here, and like I was doing this like how wrestlers wear socks like that, but I was wearing too long. two long socks. So like I had this under here, and then this over, the pants. Or not pants, but that sock I just pointed at, I had it over this, and then the dress pants. But basically I had to do that because I was sick, and then I had cough drops and all that. So I was making sure, I was like, no, I'm gonna be able to come to this job because I just got this job. But boom, Wednesday, I'm doing infield stuff, mad scared, nervous. I'm working with a guy who basically has been doing this, and it was rough. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm basically, what we had to do. We had a client called Leaf Filter, and they sell. See, I'm speaking very clearly now, and my lips are crusty. But they said what they sell is gutter filters. Maybe they sell other stuff. I'm not sure, but we were helping them sell gutter filters, and these gutter filters were really good. Like, they were like really good. Stainless steel micro mesh stainless steel, whatever you call it. Essentially, think a strainer, but so many things overlapping, and like just to the point where nothing can get through. Literally nothing can get through except for water. Yeah, except for water. We were selling this product, and we had to do it in Lowe's, right? Because I was part of that team. We had other clients like AT&T, and I think 2 other clients as well. But I was on a part of the team that was doing Leaf Filter. We're at Lowe's, I'm selling to I'm pitching, I'm doing my sales pitch. Hey, miss, did you hear what, it was much clearer when I was doing it then, but it was essentially, hey, miss, did you hear about what Lowe's is offering for homeowners? Well, my name is Zachary, and I'm partnered with Leaf Filter. And I'm partnered with it's basically that. Lowe's partner with Leaf Filter. We have this, I would tell them what it is, and I would basically segue my way into selling this filter for their gutters. I had some people listen, some people didn't. Honestly, I only really had like very few people listen because my pitch was very submissive, and then it got better over time. And I was basically doing that from Wednesday, and I went all the way to Sunday, and then the next week, which this was basically December 17th, I believe. That next week was on December 17th. So I had Monday and Tuesday off. And I was doing it. I mean, like, granted, like I said, I only throughout that whole week, I only got one what is it called? One starts with a V. Verified lead meaning like an actual lead that, like, hey, this person is about to call you, or like, hey, call this person on such and such day because they actually want this filter on their gutters. Verified lead. Gross lead is, hey, they just want more information, or hey, here's this person information, call them. They don't necessarily want to do anything now, but they might want to know something for when they are ready. That type of stuff. But for that week, I only had one verified lead and 2 gross leads. And there's other people there who are more personable and who are able to speak to people more, who got way more gross leads and way more verified leads. With me personally, I'm not that great when it comes to let me not say I'm not that great. I had more difficulty approaching people because, and it's not even an excuse. I'm just laying out why I'm like that, why it was difficult for me. Anxiety, nervousness, submissiveness from basically childhood. I got verbally abused a lot, so yelled at and verbally abused a lot. So that plays a factor into how I act towards people now, which is something that I'm working on as far as getting with people who can help me fix that. what else plays into it? Not having any friends plays into it. I mean, a lot of personal stuff basically played into why my pitching skills didn't work. But I was literally like, as I was like, let's say like I would pitch to somebody and they would ignore me, or like I would pitch to somebody and it didn't go that well. Literally right afterwards, I'm on my phone writing down notes of how I could have said it better, or okay, if I say it like this, and if I shorten it so that I could get to the point, and then I could, you know, you have to make it more personable, but you don't want to give them a lecture. Otherwise, they're just gonna cut you off and say bye, have a nice day. You know, that's what I was doing. I literally shortened it to where, okay, I can tell these people, hey, you know, we're just offering this thing, you know, stainless steel mesh, keeps out snow, anything nature, If you want, we can set something up this weekend, this coming Monday, Tuesday, you know, stuff like that, like the next day, or like the next business day, whatever, or the next 2 business days, I mean. But you want to give that entire pitch, and then you want to play off of their pain points, meaning you want to focus on, okay, your husband has to get up on a ladder and go up 2 flights, go up on a 2-story house just to clear out the gutters. Seems pretty dangerous. How about this? We have someone come out there, gutter filter, put it up there. Husband will have to do that again. On top of that, we'll do a one-time thing. I don't think we were supposed to say this, or we are supposed to say it, but I'm just saying this for the example. We'll also tell them, like, on top of that, the guy who comes out there, they'll do a one-time thing where they clear out the gutters, which even while I'm saying that right now, I can already hear the guy who I was working with saying, like, no, don't say that. But that's literally what they did. But anyway, yeah, it was 1 week of that. I didn't really do I did not do much numbers, but I honestly I honestly believe, yo, I'm making progress. Cause like before you asked me to jump in and do this, like literally, cause before I would not jump in and do that. I mean, I wanted to, and I knew that, hey, yo, this is going to be lucrative for me if I learn how to do these sales. So like, it was terrifying, really. But like after a week or after 5 days, I was like, yo, like I'm good, because literally like the last 2 days I was going in Lowe's, just walking by myself, like in Lowe's, because literally basically I have to walk around Lowe's for like several hours asking people. Thank God it wasn't a whole bunch of people coming in too, because it would have been even more awkward. But I was getting used to all the rejections and getting used to having to walk around and talk to people. There's some people that I would just avoid talking to because they clearly don't want to be talked to, or I was just too afraid to say anything. But I was actually making progress, you know. It was really working for me. But see, and I know it took a minute for me to get to this point to even say this, but this is where they fucked up. I've only been there basically a week, but I only basically been working for 5 fucking days. And after 5 fucking days and then 2 days off, as I'm literally, because I can't drive, I have narcolepsy, as my mom is literally pulling out of the neighborhood that we live in, we get on the main road. Once we're out of the neighborhood, I call up the manager, or not even manager, one of the supervisors. She's like, because she's been trying to reach me. She's like, yeah, we're going to have to let you go. And I straight up told her, I just started. Same thing as the other guy. I just started. I didn't go off on her or nothing. I low-key not even low-key, like even more low-key. Whatever is under low-key, that. I kind of wanted to, but I didn't. She told me not to lose the number, though. Like, oh, maybe when you come back and gain more confidence, as if I was just standing around in fucking Lowe's not fucking doing nothing. Anyway, like, come on now. Like, I was making actual progress. And I told her, like, I straight up told her, like, yo, I just started. Of course I'm not going to do that many numbers. Like, but no, it made no sense. And luckily for me, the person who recruited me basically told me that she was basically being a bully because I told her the same thing. Like, I just started. Of course I'm not going to do that many numbers. Even though there are other people there who just started and they got like 40 gross leads, which that's going to be money in the bank like every few days or so, which my gross leads already came back. So I already got that back. I already got that back. So I know that. So I know that whoever did those 40 gross leads is still getting money like every day. But like definitely sales is one of those jobs where you gotta be personable. You gotta be okay with talking to people, like in person, on the phone, whatever. So that's why I was like, yo, I'm making progress. Like it's tough, but like I'm learning how to do it. Just like anything else. And the fact that they got rid of me because I didn't do enough numbers, as they said, I was like, yo, like y'all are stupid, y'all are dumb. On top of that, they didn't do enough training. Credence Innovations did not do enough training. They did some training, but we need to be doing training every day. Every day. And then I was getting a ride to there from a dude who I met at orientation who is also a Chin person, Burmese Hakka Chin. Yeah, I live next to like a bunch of those people from Burma. So it was funny how this guy's Chin. And he lives near me. Okay, hey, can I carpool with you? Just to make it easier for my mom because she literally has to drive. I know, no, don't even say that, but she has to drive me. It would be easier for her because that way she don't have to spend so much gas money and lose so much gas. But anyway, but even he was going through some difficulty there. Like we get there one day, I think it was like one of the last days, like it was like either a Thursday or a Friday. We get there mad early, like 8:22. I'll never forget it. We got there at 8:22. Tell me why on the day that I got fired and I went back home and my mom went ahead and did her thing, I'm calling him, we talking, and he's like, yeah, I had quit too. I'm like, what? And he was a part of the team that was doing AT&T. Come to find out, when we had got there on that day when we came there at 8:22 a.m., they were telling him, like, they were like, the entire group was saying to him, like, oh, you're late, like, late. Because he didn't get no message about like, oh, we need you in at such and such time. Now, we need you in at such and such time, which there was like the other day beforehand, he had to be in at a certain time. And I saw that text message late, so then he had to go leave. That was a different day. This day, however, they didn't tell him about no meeting or nothing. So it's like, what are you talking about? And then with me, let's go back to him. But yeah, he didn't like that, and they were poking fun at him. Not even poking fun at him, they were basically scolding him. They were literally scolding him. And it's like, this is not a team atmosphere. If we're supposed to be team members, teammates, build each other up, and y'all wanted me here at a certain time, then y'all should have said that to him. They didn't say that. So that was a big red flag for him. Yeah, that was a big red flag for him. I would have left too. I was like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? But no, and I think there was something else, but I forgot. But no, but back to my situation. And then the other reason that the supervisor who had called and said that I'm fired and told me to still keep the number just in case I build up my confidence and then come back 3 months later, because they're gonna contact me 3 months later, which I'm not gonna go back to y'all. How y'all gonna fire someone who barely knows what they're doing? Of course they're gonna get low numbers, dumbass. You don't do enough training. The fuck are y'all talking about? Oh, you're not doing enough numbers. Yeah. The real New York was about to come out. No, but the other thing that she said was what was it? Oh, and you're not scheduling any meetings with any of the other people, which I was going to, but guess what? I just came from a whole nother job, and I'm not gonna leave myself out of this. Hold on. I just came from another job. I'm still trying to figure out my new schedule. So what are you talking about? I didn't schedule this with that person. One, I have to drive a whole hour, and then depending on where I'm at, I have to wait for either my mom or maybe or whoever have you to pick me up. It's like, one, you're being inconsiderate. Now here's two. Two, she did mention that, hey, go ahead and schedule what days you need off. She did tell me that early on, so I'll take accountability for that. But for them to fire me off of that, of course, off the other thing, but using that as a reason, I didn't schedule any meetings with any of the guys to like get any feedback or learn some stuff outside of like and this is kind of how she said, oh, you're not doing any meetings with any of the guys at Starbucks or whatever. I'm like, bitch, I don't give a fuck about, well, let me not say I don't give a fuck about that. I want to, I do give a fuck about meeting with them, because one of them, I wrote down his name, Deep. He was literally the guy, I said his name, Deep. Apparently he's just really fucking good. He's always doing big numbers and everything, right? Okay, cool. So I wrote down his name. I even got his number. Still have his number. I'm like, all right, bet. When I get my schedule situation in order, I'm hit him up, and then we're gonna meet on such and such day. I didn't get to plan that such and such day yet, because I was just then getting my schedule in order, and I had to talk to the other person who handled the scheduling and everything. It was dumb. And then I mentioned the person who had recruited me, who was also technically my leader, but she barely got to be in the office, because she herself was going through stuff with them. Oh shit, okay, I might have to cut out this part now. Oh man, if she's seeing this, if she is seeing this, I am sorry. Yeah, see, I already said it without even realizing it, but I'm not even gonna say too much. But no, essentially, yeah, I already said that. She said that y'all guys are bullies or whatever. But yeah, she didn't like them. She moved on. End of discussion. I'm not even gonna say anything about her business now. I kind of messed up though. It did slip. So if anything bad happens, hopefully nothing bad happens. If anything bad happens, I do apologize. But anyway, week's over. Dang, this video's gonna be mad fucking long. Them clips are gonna be good though. Them clips are gonna be good. I'm gonna have a bunch of clips. I'm gonna be like posting every freaking day. Anyway, I do not like. No, I don't have even doing that, because like if I'm like talking and like you can kind of hear it, like that noise in the back of my throat or whatever. Not that I'm getting sick or nothing. It's not that. It's just like, why is that part irritated? Not even getting irritated. Why is that part like, I don't know, scratching itself? I don't know how to say it. I don't know what to say or how to say it. But anyway, let me check this phone still going. Yeah, it's still going. How long have I been doing this? Oh my God, literally an hour. I'm gonna have so many clips, bro. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I have a hard time getting words out, bro. It's crazy. See, like how my voice is right now. Well, how just was like right now. Okay. But yeah, that was last day was basically back on the 17th of December. It has basically been a whole month since then. I was looking for a job, then I was like, oh, let me look for a remote sales job. I tried that. I got with a remote sales job. It wasn't working, mainly because, this is mainly my fault. Not even fault. Just me realizing that, okay, yeah, I know I want to do remote sales, or I want to do sales, but I think it's better if I do it in person. So I was like, okay, I'm just not gonna work with this company. And luckily for me, it's remote, so I was easily able to just not talk to them and just leave. And this was still basically in the onboarding process. Dude sent me 2 links that didn't work, and he said, oh, they do work. You just can't take a screenshot of them from the chat room, which makes no sense. I've never had a problem where I took a screenshot of a link and then try to paste it, and then it didn't work. And then I told him, like, yo, are you sure it's the same link? Because the one that he sent me again had completely different numbers in it. Because when you put a link, when you put a link in the thing, when you put a link in the search engine, not search engine, but yeah, in the search engine for the internet browser that you have, it has different numbers, symbols, and letters, right? So the one he sent me had completely different numbers and symbols and letters than the initial one. And so when we had the call, he sent it to me again, and I said, "Are you sure? Because the one that you just sent me is completely different from the one that you sent me beforehand." And then he tried to be like, "Oh, it is the same one." It's not the same fucking one. But whatever. I really didn't like him, which is crazy. No offense to Mexican people, I have no problem with Mexican people, but he was also a Mexican guy. Well, I'm assuming. I honestly don't know, but he was definitely of Latino descent, and I honestly don't know because the dude was in the Philippines when we had saw him on well, he was in the Philippines in general, but actually no, he was. I still don't know. Look, either way, forget the Mexican part. Either way, didn't like the guy. Already was off to a bad start. I was like, I just got the job and already he's on some bullshit. But it was all right. Yeah, left them. So basically, I've been signing up for a bunch of sales jobs. Not even gonna lie, me and my mom we kind of got into it like yet yesterday. So yesterday or day before. So basically, ever since I think it was the day before. So basically, yeah, ever since then, I've just been applying and applying and applying for a lot of in-person jobs, some restaurant jobs, and then I thought to myself, wait a minute, I haven't been a barista yet, and I do want that skill, but I don't want to work at Starbucks. I seen how they work. I don't want to work there. I do not want to work there. So I applied to some barista jobs as well. Um, Hopefully, any of the jobs that I've applied to or am working with at this time, hopefully you don't fire me because this is just content. I I'm thinking of what PC thing I could say to save my ass. Look, I don't care if you're gay. No, but for real though, no, please don't fire me. Currently, I'm a nice guy. I generally get along with people as long as they don't treat me badly. Like I don't care if you want to believe in like whatever, as long as we're able to work together and get our job done, then yay. But yeah, I've been applying for a bunch of different jobs and everything now. So yeah, that's all that's been going on right now, really. Oh, that and procrastinating on posting stuff. I'm hoping I post this, but as of literally right now, as I'm saying this right now, doubt is creeping in my mind. I don't want to be like, oh, it's not gonna stop me from posting. No, bro, I'm not even gonna say it's, and I'm not even saying it is gonna stop me, but it's like doubt always creeps in people's mind. We're human, all right. We're literally born sinners. We're gonna have stuff like that creep in our minds, like all kind of stuff. Um, it's dang near been an hour, but I don't even want to stop talking. But nah, shoot. I'll get into my old jobs, but I'm gonna talk about the two sales jobs just real quick. The two sales jobs I did apply for. I applied for. Oh, let me not say them. Well, no. Disclaimer: I have no problems with these jobs. I don't hate nobody there or nothing. They just went in a different direction. Basically, is what I'm saying. What happened with them? They went in a different direction, and I got a little upset about that. I didn't say anything to them. I just said, "Okay, thank you," or "Okay, have a nice day." But when I hung up, I was like, "What the fuck, man? That's some bullshit." Da. Fuck y'all niggas. That's that's what I said. Exactly like fuck y'all niggas. No, hey yo, fuck, suck my dick, nigga. No, but I actually did. When I hung up, I actually did was like, yo, fuck that shit. It's some fucking bullshit. And I was mad though because I was like, yo, because I was literally because after literally after me and my mom got into it, like I basically just been like nonstop like calling people over and over again. Not like annoyingly to where it's like, okay, I'm doing too much, but enough to where like, okay, I put in this application, call them right away, email them. I'm basically using the method that I had learned from like this other guy on YouTube, where essentially you make multiple accounts. I'm utilizing part of it, so just bear with me. You make multiple accounts, like let's say multiple LinkedIn accounts, and then apply for that same job, and then that one job, okay. Let me call them, let them know I put in an application. Let me also email them. Let me look at their social media. Let me email their social media. Just hit them up on all fronts, and then do that, and then hit them up every day. and like, you know, apply to many different jobs and hit them up. And that's basically as far as getting jobs while you're jobless. Your job is to hit up all those jobs multiple times. And and specifically if you haven't been able to get through to them or haven't gotten back to them, if you haven't been able to get through to them or they haven't got back to you, call them back like an hour later, 30 minutes later, maybe even 15 minutes later, because sometimes you call them, they'll say, oh, they're in a meeting right now. And that meeting might have ended like in 10 minutes or literally 2 minutes after you had called. So you never know. So yeah, that's some advice for y'all out there who are looking for jobs, by the way. Definitely use that. It's not some shit that I just made up and I'm being crazy or nothing. No. Apply for a job, email them, call them. They got social media, hit them up on there. If you're really dedicated, make multiple accounts for Glassdoor, LinkedIn, Indeed. Go online and look up all different types of jobs, because there's multiple different types of places where you could find jobs at. It's not just those places. Another good one that I'm told that if you sign up for a job, they will give it to you straight away. AppletreeStaffing.com or .org. Just look up Appletree Staffing. They got a bunch of, basically you could say almost trade like jobs, some telecom jobs every now and then. But yeah, they'll definitely give you jobs on there too. But yeah, essentially when you're applying for jobs, that your job during that is to hit them up over and over again. It's like cold calling essentially. But speaking of which, let's go back to what I was going to talk about, those two sales jobs. Basically both of them was going to be cold calling. One of them for sure was one of them for sure, I think both of them for sure, but one of them for sure was was basically an entry-level job. And I was hitting them up because I was like, oh yeah, like it was a perfect job, like Monday through Friday, no weekends. It didn't tell you the base salary, but they did say salary, and it was basically I think either warm leads, which would be like, basically warm leads is essentially the opposite of cold calling. You're basically calling people who are already interested in the product. You're just hold on, because I was gonna say appointment setting, but no. If they're a warm lead and they're already interested, then you're basically closing. So I don't think it's warm lead. I think they were cold calling. We're just gonna go with cold calling right now. But that's essentially what I signed up for that job. And then there was another job called BuyWriter, and the other one I was talking about that's also cold calling is Flexmark or no, Fitzmark. Great businesses, by the way. Got no problems with them. Like I said, I was putting in my information. I was hitting them up. One of them at BuyWriter, one of the employees at BuyWriter actually helped to get told me to just email him, and he's going to get my information to them because he realized I was really trying to get my information to them. And you know, he realized I was trying to, no, because I kept calling up and I said, hey, HR, can you direct me to them? And then I think by the third time he was like, okay, or not even third time, second time, he was like, okay, email me. Yeah, he was like, email me your resume. I'm gonna make sure it's gonna get through. And I was like, all right, sure. And come today, or yesterday, question mark. Either yesterday or today, I called them and they said they went with someone else. After all that calling, all that texting, after all that calling, emailing, sent them my resume, all that, oh, we went with someone else. It's just frustrating because it's like, bro, I showed more dedication than the nigga you chose. Fuck you and that nigga. I'm just kidding. No, but so that's how I felt. I was like, bro, fuck you, man. Like, what the fuck? All that, like I'm showing dedication. I'm showing that I'm willing to put in the work to be good at this job, bro. Like, come on. And that's the thing too that pops in my head. Whether it's that job, the other job, or whatever other sales jobs, it's like, bro, like, How do you expect niggas to even get good to where y'all have people to hire to be a salesperson? Like we gotta get it. We gotta start. Niggas start somewhere. Like these locks were mad small shits some time ago. You feel me? Like they were like niggas don't start just experience out the womb. Okay, you crawl before you walk before you run before you jump before you fly. You'll fly before you just float there. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't, and then you float there before you just exist and don't even know how to walk. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like there's progression steps to this. You know. So yeah, now I'm just low key hoping let me not say that. Yeah, I'm not gonna say that. But yeah, I'm just applying to like different jobs. I applied to restaurant jobs downtown. I think I applied, yeah, and I applied to, you could basically say like a cafeteria. I think a cafeteria type job over here in Greenwood. I applied to like some coffee spots. Because like with barista, even though I really don't want to do the food industry no more because I want to get into sales because I want to make more money. Oh, well, how about you work your way up? How about no? Because I'm not gonna waste years and years in a field that I don't really have much interest in anymore. I used to like, it's the thing I used to say all the time. Actually, take this. It's a quote. It's actually a verse from Kanye. Not even a verse. It's a line from Kanye. Kanye West's verse from the song called "Forever" by Drake. It's basically a LeBron glazing song, essentially. But literally the last part of Kanye West's verse was, "I used to want this thing forever. Y'all can have it back." And that's legitimately how I feel about that. That shit is a bar. That shit is a fucking bar. Because that's legitimately how I feel about the culinary industry. Like when you're working in restaurants, bro. And now I'm getting into what you call it. But that's enough with all the stuff that I did at the past jobs. But when you're working at a restaurant, bro. Actually, hold on. I'm gonna continue this in the second one. Stay safe, be blessed, and keep God close, and don't be a bitch nigga. All right, see ya.